Welcome back to Out of the Rough. I'm with Tammy Burnell. Tammy Burnell is a motivational speaker and business coach for entrepreneurs.
Right.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and an entrepreneur in your own right. You were in the industry for 20 years, the real estate industry for 20 years.
I was. Started at the ripe age of 19.
Yes, and got into it.
Right
and,
here in SCV.
Yep, and now you've done over 9,000 coaching calls. So you've been there and done that. But one thing that I'm really impressed with is that you've been on the Dr. Phil show, featured on the Dr. Phil show.
I was. It was really interesting. When I opened up my own company, Turning Passion into Profits in 2009, after I left my former coaching company, ended up getting on Twitter and just trying to figure out all the social media because it was free. And I'm like, okay, I went from like 40 clients down to 0 clients, opening up my own company.
Free is good.
Yeah, so free is good. And ended up getting like 4,000 followers on Twitter in 90 days. And that success actually landed me on the Dr. Phil show.
Yeah, and that's a success in itself. Yeah. In 2004, you hired a business coach.
Correct.
Which led you to become a business coach.
Exactly.
Now, tell us about that experience.
It was actually really funny because my very first coaching call that I had with my coach, he goes, you know, Tammy, what do you want to do? I was selling real estate at the time, and I said, you know what? I think I want your job. And he goes, well, you're going to have to kind of kick it up, you know, if you want my job.
Right.
And basically, that was a big goal of mine. And in 6 months, I actually became a real estate coach with that firm.
Yeah, and
after
you
being
transitioned
coached.
over.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
a great, and you've been there and done that in the real estate industry. And I'll tell you, one thing about real estate is you wear a lot of hats.
Oh,
and, and you have to be a good manager of time, you have to be a good marketer, there's so much. So you really become an entrepreneur. But we're going to talk today about turning passion into profits in the SMART goal setting system.
Correct.
That you like to talk about.
Yeah, it's actually a really great system. I mean, there's a ton of systems out there, you know, but this one just kind of makes it so it's, you know, it's realistic, it's attainable, it's, you know, putting stuff in a timely manner. So we can go ahead and go over those.
Yeah, let's hit that. SMART. I love it. Specific.
Yeah, so for specific, it's really all about, okay, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? And then the big thing in that is the why. And I've always said, you know, once you kind of determine that why, the discipline automatically comes. Because that's really what's hard. I mean, we all set goals, right? I mean, I've been guilty of it, setting a goal and then, you know, 3 months later, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I wrote this out.
I kind of wanted to do that.
You know, so that's been a real challenge with, you know, a lot of the people that I work with. So I've found if I can get them to really figure out, okay, why am I doing this? You know, why am I getting my butt up every day and busting my butt? You know, for what? And it can't be, oh, I want to pay my bills.
Right.
Because that's not going to get you out of bed, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be something bigger, whether it's a charity or, you know, putting your kids through, you know,
yeah, for me, my passion
college.
is providing for my family.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my wife can stay home and
Exactly.
and have a full-time job there.
Oh yeah, that's the hardest job in the world.
No doubt, but that's my why, and you have to understand that why because it makes the goals stronger. It gives you an anchor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always tell my my coaching clients that have kids, I said, you know what, share these goals with your kids and make a deal with them because we'll disappoint ourselves all day long.
Sure.
A lot of times. But you're not going to
disappoint your
You're not
kids.
going to disappoint your kids.
Yes.
And so that's kind of a good kicker
Now,
there.
all goals have to be measurable, in your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you definitely want to measurable. I mean, I've always said, you know, if you can't measure your results, then how are we really going to be able to manage, you know, where we're at? So you've got to be able to have like some sort of, I like to call it a daily accountability checklist. And this is what my coach did with me. And it's super simple. It's just like a one-page form, and it's everything from, you know, what time did I get up today? You know, did I eat a healthy breakfast? Did I exercise? You know, what is that really strict morning routine? And that's what I do with the people that I'm working with. Is that you can give me that really strict morning routine. If you've got this down from the time you get up to like noon, whether it's if you're a realtor and you got a prospect and you got to follow up with your leads or whatever it is, if you have those 4 or 5 hours really productive in the morning, you're going to have a productive day.
You're going to have a great day.
You know, but if you show up at the office, you know,
now goals
11 o'clock.
Yeah, you stroll in at 11, yeah.
What's for lunch?
Yes, yes. Now goals have to be attainable. Some
Attainable.
people really, they set their goal, they're disappointed they didn't quite reach their goal.
Right, well, you know, the first question is it attainable? Can I really do this? You know, and for a lot of people, it comes down to the patterns, behaviors that are really holding them back. So we really, really work on that because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, these people can do what they say on their goal, but there's something going on that's holding them back, whether it's a pattern in getting late in the office or a pattern of staying up too late, or, it could be a bigger problem like, a drinking problem, or bad habit, hanging out the bar too long, that type of thing.
Hanging out with the wrong people.
Hanging out with the wrong people,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have to really kind of tackle those and see how that works.
And not only does it have to be attainable, it has to be realistic.
Yeah, realistic. You get 2 different types of people that are setting goals. You get the people that are kind of more the analytical. They, run these spreadsheets and they redo their spreadsheets, and it's got to be realistic, for them. And then you've got the other ones that are kind of the big dreamers. Like I always say realistic is kind of boring. Like I like to kind of think big. So what we do is we say, okay, let's come up with a minimum goal, and then let's have kind of this big sexy goal. Yeah. And let's go after that. If we end up somewhere in the middle, then that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, something that's intriguing, something's going to excite you.
Right. I mean, if your goal is to make $250,000 this year, that's pretty attainable because maybe we made 175. Well, let's put a big sexy goal out there for 500. Yeah. And if you make 350, is that going to be okay with you?
Yeah.
Usually the answer is always yes.
And the thing is, this could be in anything. It could be as a parent. It could be as a friend. It could be as, there's so many different, maybe a fitness goal, no doubt. And last but not least, timely.
Yeah, timely. You definitely have to, measure your results. So I always say, we got to set a deadline here. You've got to have some certain type of deadline, whether it's 90 days or a year. A lot of us will set a yearly goal. Okay, it's going to be 2,000, whatever, and I'm going to do this in this year time frame. And I've always found it better. What works better for people is say, okay, let's have these short-term goals. Let's just have this little hop, like a little short 30-day goal.
Let's have short successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
short
so it's
success.
good.
The smart, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. We're going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, Tammy's going to give us some tips on social media and how to get out there like you did with the Dr. Phil show.
Okay,
and
absolutely.
really make a difference in people's lives. We'll be right back.